Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bart Winkler. Welcome into the Winklerverse as we come to you on a Saturday, April 19th, after game one, where the Bucks go to Indiana and predictably lose game one. Now, some more optimism perhaps about the series as Damian Lillard is going to come back in game two, maybe game three, and they need him. I heard from some Bucks fans that were excited that the Bucks had been winning games at the end of the regular season. They won 8 in a row with the lineup that is professional. There's professional guys on this lineup. At least they're in the league. Oh, Damian might ruin the chemistry. Some said, oh, that is so dumb. His sight would be very welcome if he was able to get back in here. The Bucks lose game one, 117-98. Again, I mentioned it's April 19th. That means Sunday is April 20th. April 20, 420. HappyPlaceHemp.com. Promo code is BART. 25% off each and every order at HappyPlaceHemp.com. The seltzers, the tinctures, the gummies, whatever you need, use the promo code. This is a great weekend to do it with 420. Or because of this game, maybe you were motivated to take any other substance to take you away from what you were watching on ESPN or Fox Sports, no, Bally's, no, Midwest Sports FanDuel Sports Network, the very easy to say FDSN. So what were the initial thoughts? Okay, initially they seemed competitive. Initially, Giannis was getting fouled a lot. Initially, Giannis was not making a lot of those free throws, which got them a little bit behind. Certainly, they don't win that game if he makes a few more free throws, but that is something that you would like to see happen. And when he's at the line, Indiana is going to be one of these teams that more aggressively counts to 10. I thought that was a played out thing. Maybe it affects them. I know that if I was a Pacer fan, I would count to 10 and I would do it like enthusiastically and then go to my buddy after he missed. I'd go, we did that. Maybe they did. I don't know. I just know that they are probably, and I would definitely enjoy it and be more obnoxious about it than I think I deserve to be, because I don't know how much that works, but maybe it does. He was not that great from the stripe today. So then after that, the Pacers go on a little bit of a run. And I think one thing that bothers me, and maybe it's unfair, Halliburton does it, especially Miles Turner, when they're like, yeah. But it's 21-15 in game one. I don't know. I feel like Halliburton is a premature celebrator. I'm just super much a fan. Jake R says, glad we on YouTube right after the game. Brew Crew says, need to knock Halliburton out. Even if Pacers win the series, make sure they lose the next one. I think he had Connaughton trying to send a little bit of a message at the end of the game. L says, this is the least groined up I've ever been for a playoff run. Corey says, I know things are bad, but are you filming live from a bunker? It's just a basement, but my Lord, I wish I had a bunker. If I had a bunker, I would be there all the time. Zuckerberg's got a bunker in Hawaii. You think rich guys just build that for a lark? Or you think they got a head up? Tyler says, Brook was the worst player on the court. I've been annoyed with Brook all season. Brook Lopez annoys me. I don't think he's that good anymore. He was good, and I like Brook Lopez, but he's just so. And I thought, who I thought was bad today too was Bobby. Bobby seemed lost. I don't want to make the same Monstars got their talent, but a lot of these guys looked uncomfortable playing basketball. The Pacers, it was just bad basketball, just embarrassing basketball. Maybe what was one of the worst parts of the game was when the Bucks went on a 9-0 lead or run and cut it to 12, 4 or 5 minutes left. And you knew this was a classic Wisconsin sports. We're getting our ass kicked. We're going to at least pretend like we're alive for a minute, but then still lose. But the Pacers were missing shot after shot after shot, but then so were you. One of those has to go down. Two of them have to go down. I mean, a better team cuts it to 6, and we've got an interesting couple of minutes to finish this game. But that was a big, as bad as the rest of the game was, and the terrible second quarter. Deshaun right about that one, losing the game there. Terrible second quarter. As bad as that was, I was kind of disheartened with the stretch. First half, the Pacers had a 68-43 lead going into halftime. Bucks did win the third quarter, but they didn't even win the fourth. Statistically, Giannis, 8 of 15 at the line, 14 of 23 overall shooting, 12 boards, just 1 assist. The Pacers were not letting him do anything other than, they said basically, okay, you're the third best top 3 player in the world. You go and try to outscore us because nobody else you're giving the ball to knows what they're doing. 36 points. The rest of the starters, guys, the rest of the Bucks starters combined for 14 points. Brook Lopez had 9 in 21 minutes. Ryan Rollins had 5 in 19 minutes. Taurean Prince had 0 in 20 minutes. Kyle Kuzma had 0 in 22 minutes. 0 for 5 shooting, 0 for 2 from 3, 0 for 2 from the line, no rebounds, no assists, no steals, no blocks, 2 fouls. Tony Snell graphic.gif. This is pretty bad. Here's one thing that I don't quite understand in basketball that some people might better than me is when you have starters, but then you play the bench more than the starters, why don't you just start the bench? Like, is that really, even with Dame out, is that the best starting lineup that we have? I mean, Gary Trent had 27 minutes. AJ Green had 27 minutes. Kevin Porter Jr. had 29 minutes. Bobby Portis had 25 minutes. So you're clearly more comfortable with those guys. And I understand, first unit, second unit, and, maybe some balance there. But like Jokic, the thing with him and the Nuggets, why his plus minus was always so good is they never let him be on the court with players that sucked. It was pretty much always the starters. And you're starting Giannis with the guys that like they wouldn't let Jokic play with. 3-point shooting was bad. That's from Greg. What did they go? 9 of 37. I think middle of the third quarters when they knocked down their third 3. So I'd love to complain about the Pacers. Pacers, I hate them. They're terrible. Whatever. This was about the Bucks. This was a Bucks team that did not look like they were ready to play, that did not look like they knew how to play, which I think is a bigger concern for me. Now, it is one game of a 7-game series. I don't think a lot of us were groined up about this playoffs to begin with. I think the prospect of Dame coming back helps, but they had to get this one out of the way. I don't know what it is about, game ones in Milwaukee. Although last year in this series, the Bucks did win game 1. Remember, Dame had that great first half and then scored 2 points in the second half. But the Bucks had that big dominating first half the same way the Pacers did this time around. Jake says, Doc seems too stubborn to change the lineups, just have to survive the starters plus Giannis lineups. Pacers were shooting 60% for 2.5 quarters. Yeah, it was a tough hole to come out of, but I think that there were plenty of times where if the Bucks just played competent basketball, it's a much more competitive game at least, and you don't lose by 19 points in game 1. Thing to remember, as I am better at watching playoff basketball than anybody, is that they are not down 19. They are down 1. They are down 1-0, and that is it. Okay? Next game on Tuesday, I believe. They're down 1-0, and Dame coming back at some point, so that should be a welcome sign. It was just, though, embarrassing. I mean, you're not going to win every game. You were never going to sweep the Pacers. And if you beat the Pacers, it's probably not going to be in 5, and it's probably not going to be in 6. This may have to go 7 for the Bucks to win. I think if there's a team that's more likely to win the series in 5, it's Indiana. In 6, it's Indiana. And then I'd maybe give the Bucks, if it goes 7, that might actually favor the Bucks long term. But the Pacers got their one at home. They're going to go again in a couple of days, and we'll see how things play out from there. I think the takeaways here, bigger picture, is I'm not like out on Doc. I'm also not in on Doc. Maybe we shouldn't have fired Bud. Maybe we shouldn't have fired or ever hired Griffin, hired, or fired. With Doc, he's going to be appropriately judged. I think no matter how these playoffs go, should we get Dame back, which it sounds like that's happening, should we get Dame back, you're going to have a healthy Bucks team. How can you coach this team in the playoffs? If you get them a series win and there's, okay, we think we've got it, I'm all for Doc returning. If they do lose in the Pacers with a healthy team outside of the 1 or 2 games, we won't get Dame, then I think there need to be a lot of changes. I think there needs to be possibly a coaching change, certainly a general manager change. I think that's going to have to be something that changes. The veterans that he's brought in over the years, the second-round picks, the abuse of them, either giving them away or trading them away. Like A.J. Johnson, who we traded with Middleton for Kuzma, I'd rather have him out there. And that's not a hot take. Kuzma was ass. And this is not, playoff nerves. This is not, like he's just got to figure it out. The Middleton for Kuzma trade, whatever. The A.J. Johnson for Kuzma trade, you just threw him in. Why'd you even draft him? What is the point of these guys? So Kuzma worries me, going forward. Q says game 1, loss on the road. Bucks shot 24% from 3. To take anything else away from this game is projecting for clicks. No. I get the line of thinking. And a lot of times that's where I'd be. I don't know how the series goes out, even from somebody that says I know playoff basketball better than anybody. This one's a hard one to kind of navigate. I don't look at this game and say, okay, the series is over. I'm still as optimistic, or either way, I'm still whatever. I'm not optimistic, pessimistic. I'm within my being. I'm just watching this series. And I'm not any more apocalyptic than I would have been coming in. And I'm not anymore. Okay, Q, you were just talking about firing Doc. Let's say Dame comes back and then they get swept. Yeah, maybe you should fire Doc. Or maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. But my larger point is they have been firing coaches and making coaching changes based on an incomplete product in the postseason. You fire, but Middleton's hurt, and then Giannis is hurt, and then Giannis and Dame are hurt, and you keep making all these changes. And even with trading for Dame, is there a world where nobody gets hurt? Drew's still here, Bud's still here, they just keep the train rolling? Maybe. They keep making decisions based on a product that is not complete. So I'm saying it would make more sense to fire Doc, if they do, than it did firing Bud when they did. That's what if they get swept. They just can't keep, I want to see this team be healthy. Now, I don't think they're playing the right lineup. I don't know what the Twitter consensus is about who should start Because that's something you could talk about. So if Dame's coming back, that's one thing. I want to see more Kevin Porter Jr. So if we would have traded Middleton for Kevin Porter Jr., I think I'd been fine with that. But it's like, here's Middleton for Kuz. Here's Kevin Porter Jr. for Marjan Beauchamp. No matter the outcome, Doc ain't it. That's from Jake. We didn't trade for Kuzma this year. It was cap flexibility for next year. Anyone that doesn't see that doesn't understand the league. It's from Q. Yeah, I don't know that we can play the next year game. There's limited time here. They have to win. When Dame is back, Taurean Prince should not see the floor. Prince is one of these guys. 3 and D, 3 and D. 3 and D to me is, and I know this because of how many times I used to play Damari Carroll on FanDuel. And I'd watch him because I'm like, oh, this guy could pop threes. And he just runs up and down the sideline. And then maybe a rebound bounces to him, a rebound, a reboard. And then he takes a three. And then if you miss the first one, they don't look at you the rest of the game. And then what kind of D are you really playing? Like, yeah, they were bad from three. And so on a larger picture, you look at this one loss and you say, okay, series not over. And I would not do that. But I do look at this and say, this starting lineup's terrible, and they have better guys off the bench. So how about if Dame comes back, put his buddy Gary Trent Jr. next to him? Who else are you starting then? Portis? Why don't we start Dame, Trent, Portis, Giannis, and how about we suck. Brooke, I guess. Thought Beanie season was over. Yeah. I forgot to pack a hat. If you start Bobby, then Brooke won't play at all. Oh, no. That'd be so bad. I'm there's a lot of people that are like out on Bobby, and there was a lot of people that were like out on Middleton, and Brooke's my guy of that. I'm out on this version of Brooke. He was chucking threes early. It's like, okay, you missed the first one. Oh, take 3 steps further back and make it? Ay, Dios míos. I don't know. I didn't think they were going to win today. I don't know that my series. I did predict, I guess, the Pacers. If you were to give me $1 million risk-free, predict the Pacers. I can't do this Tuesday. I will be doing my show. But you can call into my show. What time do they play Tuesday? 6? I guess I could sneak in at 8:30. I don't know. That's hard. We'll see. But for sure, on the Infinity Sports Network, you can find me. So just wanted to give some thoughts and say hi to you guys. Shitty game. Some good basketball the rest of the day. WrestleMania the next couple of nights. WWE with the heel turn of their own organization this week. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Very strange PR week from them. What's a good excuse to miss Easter for Mania tomorrow? I think you just say Mania. I think Mania is a good enough excuse. I'm excited to watch it with the boy. Jay Gunther go on first. That's the one he wants to see the most. Worried about it, though, for him. He's a Jay guy. Probably make it up the whole night tonight, but I don't think we're going to make it up for Cody Cena on a school night. Have to watch it the next day. All right, Bucks lose 117-98. They are down 1-0 in the series. You guys have a great Easter weekend, and we'll talk next week. Thanks, as always, for stopping into the Winklerverse. Get them gummies.